Adelaide Rural Clinical School is a program that supports medical students to have an immersion experience in small rural communities across the west and north of South Australia. We pride ourselves in providing students with a top-rate education while also helping them to really understand the value of community and hopefully creating the next generation of rural doctors.
At ARCS we provide you with a longitudinal integrated clerkship in a rural area in South Australia across 11 sites and also including Broken Hill in New South Wales. You'll study the Year 5 courses, HRH, Paediatrics, APIC, Geriatrics and General Practice and our course Rural Medicine. But alongside that you'll have the opportunity to learn and work in rural GP practices and our regional and rural hospitals alongside specialists across a number of areas.
Any opportunity to go rural is fantastic for students, but particularly the longitudinal program of having the whole 12 months out in rural is a really unique opportunity to form relationships with experienced clinicians and to integrate knowledge throughout the different courses and the different environments. Particularly with the anaesthetics, obstetrics and paediatrics, there are so many more opportunities for hands-on experience with patients compared to metropolitan hospitals where medical students might be at the back of the queue. Here in country our medical students get to be front and centre and get to do a lot of those really engaging and sometimes challenging things with senior clinicians right next to them.
Yes, I would absolutely recommend going rural. The support from the ARCS staff and the Barossa staff from all the GPs here was amazing. I have really enjoyed the on-call and ED exposure this year. I think having some time in the ED has given us with a little bit of independence, but also in a very supportive environment has been really good for all of our confidence and just being able to work up a patient from start to finish. As well as some simple procedures like suturing and casting all the way up through to resus situations. So that's been a very eye-opening experience but also really good for our confidence. Another thing is being able to see some antenatal patients, follow them through their pregnancy and then be there at their delivery and then follow them at 2 and 6 week checks has been really nice as well.
So the mixture of cases that we see is typical representation of big community. We see everything there, the cardiac problems, the aged care, older people, the pediatric cases, the obstetric, gynae. It represents the broad spectrum of medicine.
It's a really quiet seaside town where we are situated. It's within walking distance of everything, so we can just walk to the shops and walk to the hospital and to the pub for dinner and that kind of thing if you're into that. Didn't really have any expectations coming out here, but it's blown me away. The experience I've had this year, it's definitely been my best year of placement to date, and I'd highly recommend everyone to come out here and take the bull by the horns and really experience it a lot and become quite a proficient medical student and have a really good year as well.
It's a bit of a lifeline for our community members to see some young, inspiring doctors come to Ceduna that may have an interest in rural placements in the future.
I think for me one of the highlights is the continuity of care that you get to have with the patients. So for example you might see someone in clinic with the doctor and then you might see them again in hospital, so I've really enjoyed being able to get to know them and I guess follow their clinical journey.
I think it's really nice to see the students change over the year. So seeing them grow from being potentially still quite fresh in regards to clinical work, although they've obviously had 4th year already, but seeing them kind of put things in place and develop that real clinical reasoning that's so important for them going forwards. I love seeing that, seeing them from that kind of point at the start of the year where they're pretty good, but seeing them at the end of the year doing mock OSCE cases and putting things together in great detail is really wonderful to see.
You know, it's just the intangible things that you get experience with, you know, sticking around in the emergency department late at night and seeing things that most people don't see. And plus you don't have that buffer of registrars and residents and interns between you and the patient. So there's a lot of great opportunities up here.
It's easy to live here, it's easy to work here, and the environment itself is fantastic. Like, you've got beautiful beaches, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. It's a great place to come and do some time and hopefully stay.